All right. Good night, good night, good night. When you see this nice handsome face on a Sunday, it's all the MBA podcast. As always, I'm your host. As you see, the accountable host. So I am the one who keep everyone accountable and keep everyone honest. With us tonight, we have Robbie Rich, say he's a professor. We have Devin, who says he's the all-rounder. We haven't seen VJ in a while because Boston has been getting beaten. So VJ start hideout. And then we have Cream. Kyrie is back. So, this man,
He's
this
back.
man very happy. This man very happy. Life with Hannah session here. All right. Good night, good night, good night. All right. So, obviously, the biggest news since the last time we have been on the podcast is that Steph Curry, now holds the record for the most 3-point shots and here's just a little bit of graphic. He said that he didn't want to call himself the greatest shooter until he got the record. So now he's comfortable doing so. Here is he being embraced by Ray Allen, who I think Ray Allen is a better shooter than Steph Curry, but we can debate that all day, all year. And then, there's one with him and Ray Allen shooting. So VJ, since you haven't been here in a while, and I haven't seen you in the WhatsApp group either, so we can. I just want to hear your thoughts on, Curry obviously getting the record, and if you're comfortable saying that, he's the best shooter or the greatest shooter you've ever seen in this game.
The proof is in the numbers. The man now holds the record for um the 3-point record. Not to mention when it comes to like the advanced stat, the true shooting percentage. His true shooting percentage have also set records in the league. Like he has have the best true shooting percentage as a guard in the league, measuring up to true shooting percentages of centers.
Mm-hmm.
Really great 2-point shooter, although it doesn't take much unless it's close to the rim, and one of the best 3-point shooter as well. He has a record, so there's no way I can say he's not the best shooter ever
Oh,
in the
hold on,
NBA.
VJ. But let us be fair. Before he had the record, like years before he even got close to the record, many persons were still crowning him as the best 3-point shooter ever, the greatest they've ever seen. And you weren't here for the last podcast, but for me, I've always said that the way how fans look at sports is how people look at a shiny car. Me I drive a Lexus, but somebody I drive something shinier. Everybody automatically go to the shinier car, even if it's not quote unquote better, because obviously it appeals to the eyes. So I'm saying the analogy I'm making is that Steph Curry pulling up from half court, pulling up from wherever, and I make the shot and think people love see that. Just like in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes pass it behind him back and them all of that. People love
Yeah,
see them thing. But so I'm saying that he has been given that accolade way before he has even earned it. So
yeah, but he has been one of, if not the highest 3-point volume shooter, and he's making them at one of the best percentages in the league as ever seen. So, um, even if he makes far, I'm not even looking at now the distance, how far he makes it, or
mm,
makes it in a double team or whatever the case is. It's just that
mm,
the numbers prove it. He's
yeah,
taking the highest volume and making the most.
yeah,
So you can't really dispute that. There's always this argument that Klay Thompson is a better shooter than him, and I
of
don't
course.
I don't necessarily disagree with it. It's debatable. Because when Klay Thompson, as everybody says, when he gets hot, no one can shoot better than Klay Thompson. So I
Yeah.
won't argue with someone that said I think that Klay Thompson is a better shooter, but right now Curry have the numbers to back it up. So
Okay. All right. Cream, you have anything to add to that?
Yes, sir.
Go
Um,
ahead.
yeah, just like what you said last week, you made mention about the fact that he's pulling up from distance is what is catching the viewer's eyes. But styles win fights, right? So he has the styles, he has the percentage to show, he makes them. It's everything. It's the variety of ways in which he shoots. The man is shooting, and before the ball even got through net, him turning him back and a point to the bench and a run down. You know, the man does incredible, man. Him revolutionized the 3-point shooting. You know, kids now come up and want to shoot from half court and them thing there. So just the mere impact where him have pan 3-point shooting and the fact him have the highest percentage in the league history from the 3-point line, you know. Everything just culminates in him being the GOAT of 3-point shooting.
Okay. All right. And Robbie Rich, I'm going to bring you in right now, but I want to switch gears a little bit. Because and I'm glad Cream mentioned it. There's an argument that who has been the most influential athletes in the NBA. You know, persons talk about MJ, persons talk about Iverson, persons talk about Shaq, you know, and persons talk about Curry, right? So out of that little, all right. Before I even go on that, here's Shanila Ellis asking a question: how far do you think Curry would stretch the record? So I think based on the amount that he made, how far do you think? Robbie Rich, you can go ahead and answer that one.
I thought the record. I thought what the record she asked.
Like the amount, because I think he has 2,900 and must see 80 something right now.
Yeah, by time him retire, what will the number be?
Yeah, what do you think is the number?
I wonder how kind of difficult to answer still.
Some people say like 4,000.
Yeah.
Some people say, some people say he'll reach 4,000. I'm not really so sure about
that. That means if them was say 4,000, that means they might go pay for a lengthy time.
I think you could get, if you play for 6 more years, you probably can get
6 more years. Because remember, Curry's 33 now, so I see probably 2 to 3 more years of prime making 300 threes a season. That put we at like 900. And then, a couple more seasons where he's not the same player, but he making still like 200 threes for the next 2-3 years after that. So I would put it probably like 1,500, which when you add on that, is a big amount. Barring injuries, of course. But something else I want to mention too, I don't know if you guys watch JJ Redick podcast. He's asked several NBA players, Drew Holiday, Mikal Bridges, about Curry, and the feedback is always the same. Like, they have never seen anything like it. Sometimes I don't think he's human. Like, what he does in the games, like, they're just wow. That I think it was Evan Turner. They were they were interviewing a player, and they said that Evan Turner was the opponent against the Warriors, and Evan Turner was like about when he made a 3 that Evan Turner couldn't believe it. He was about to clap for them, and then he realized, wait, no, I'm playing against this man. I can't clap for him. So the NBA players even say it themselves. Like they've never seen anything like that.
Yep, and then it also goes to the point, and I don't mean to stray too far, but remember when Curry went to Brooklyn, and teared up the Brooklyn Nets. The fans in there was cheering for Curry and not cheering for their player KD. So for me personally, the question that I asked Robbie Rich about influence, I believe that Curry is definitely the most influential player ever touch a basketball, because when I tell you, even I guess in Jamaica we call it basic school, even basic school kids.
Hold on. No cut you. Where you say most influential, on the court or off the court?
Ever? And are you saying ever or post Jordan?
Ever.
Nah, wow.
Ever.
Double Jordan dominance, what's more?
Wow.
No.
Remember say, all right. Remember the growth of
Hold on, Robert. The thing about people associate with Jordan, I'm shoes, right? What matter about basketball? When you see basic school kids want to shoot 3-pointer, like coming up, middle school, high school, everybody, they just want to shoot, pull up from half court. Like the man, I was looking at a stat the other day, and they were saying that before Curry came into the league, there were like, I think, probably like 7 3-point attempts, 7 or 8 3-point attempts. After when Curry in the league and start doing this thing, the thing rise to like 18 3-point attempts, for the league. So I'm saying the influence that the man had, I just can't see anybody being that influential. Like, I love LeBron, and I think LeBron has influence mainly off the court, and also I think LeBron was one of them who pushed for, player movement. Player can go wherever they want to go without without getting scrutinized and so. But I just see on the basketball court, I just can't see anybody more influential than Curry. If you don't want to tell me MJ, I'm willing to listen why it is MJ. But right now, I just think Curry is the most influential ever, just based on his 3-point shooting, what he has done, how he has revolutionized the league. Remember, Curry single-handedly takes centers out of basketball. If you are not if you're a center that can't shoot, you'll be on the bench or you'll be out the league. And Curry caused that. So,
or you necessarily attribute that to Curry. That's not necessarily Curry. The game of basketball changed overall.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say like
evolve from certain things, yeah.
Unnecessarily Curry caused center to be taken out of the game. Just the way the game been played.
So before Curry came into the league, there was this much volume 3-point shooting. Because you're older than me, so there was this much volume 3-point shooting where remember Curry
to the league, Curry cause it can be just overall the style of play, can be this whole analytics thing where people say, you know what, the 3 is better you take the 3 than long 2.
If you remember, there was a narrative before Warriors win that first chip in 2015 that a team that is a volume shooting team like outside shooting team can't win a chip. That was the whole narrative until Curry do it and Warriors. And now, as soon as that happened, it's like all the teams start to say, all right, well, we're just going to have all shooters on the floor. They're going after shooters. So I can see where Kem's saying, he's the most influential because of that. Because before, it wasn't proven that a jump shooting team could win the chip. It's only until Curry come and do it, and every team is like, all right, we're going to turn our team into a jump shooting team.
VJ Predis, right?
One.
Predis. All right.
One. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying that before Jordan, how popular basketball was.
I'm not sure. I'm too young. I
remember that part.
Scream and David, we don't know. I'm too young.
One of the points that
popularity, yes.
I think what Kems is pointing to is the on-court play and not necessarily globalized basketball.
Remember, I said Jordan was that good. People was evolving to it. So I'm coming more than just that. If you're going to mention on the court, in performance, have to be super for them do it. Just like Usain Bolt. Check and feed that dead out before Usain Bolt forward. And then revelize it. So the same thing I can say about Jordan.
I think
the game where today.
One of the things that I always hear analysts say, and I agree with, is other young kids coming up, they can relate to Curry in the sense that Curry is known as the skinny, small player. You couldn't relate to Jordan because
they can't jump so high.
Yeah, and like with Curry, he's 6'3", but he feels like I think like to the kids, he feel like he's the smallest player on the court, and they can relate to that. And he's not like muscular or whatever until he kind of put on a bit of muscle in the later years, past couple years. But still, the younger kids can relate to it, and I can see where it's influencing those kids that I can be like Curry, I can shoot from the outside too. But those young kids, they couldn't dream of saying, they can be like MJ because they can be like Mike. You know what I mean? So I can see that contribute to it. I won't really argue if he's the most influential because, I don't know how influential MJ was. That was before my time when I really went into basketball.
Exactly. All right, look at this, right? All right, look at this. When teams started building their teams, every team was building it to beat Golden State. Nobody never cared about teams in the East. They didn't care about their opponents in the East. Everybody's saying, hey, we have to beat Golden State. We have to have shooters. We have to be able to match them shooting. We have to be able to match the small lineup. We have to be able to do this and do that. And I'm saying, and for me, this is just, I just think it's all about Curry. Again, MJ.
You're right, because even now, when teams are drafting bigs, they're looking for bigs who can stretch the floor, who can go to the 3-point line, and not on 3-point shot.
Yeah. Because remember man like Dwight Howard. Remember in a LeBron time, man like Dwight Howard dominate.
Back to basket.
Ilgaskos and them man, the Verajo. You see them man, they can come play basketball right now. You see, Dwight Howard ride the pine like crazy. I mean, Ghana is older right now, but you know, people like those, you know, they can't do it right now. So, you know, that's just how I feel about the whole Curry thing. But Devin,
Yo,
give me some insight, about Curry getting the record.
well, like I said, the numbers goes to show that he's the best shooter of all time, you know, and he makes it in less time, and he's not just about the fancy play like you always keep saying. And you know, remember we talked about it on the podcast. In comparison to the other guys who are considered among the greatest, like a Ray Allen and Reggie,
Uh-huh.
they were primarily, you know, catch and shoot players. Curry sometimes had to do it. Coming out of screen, he got to do it. Making his own shot, you know. So he's just the best. The only drawback that we mentioned is that, you know, sometimes in the clutch moments, you know, those two players may have it, may in quotes, may have the clutch over him, you know, because whoever highlighted instances where he's wanting when it comes on to the big time, you know.
And I think, you know, I have to give honorable mention to James Harden as well, because I think he's close to Reggie Miller right now. I think he's close to passing Reggie Miller right now. Huh?
He's what, fourth?
Yeah, he's fourth. He's fourth right now. So,
But
you know,
on the influence thing, Kims, you know, I think it's close between Mike and Curry. You know, because like even though what VJ was saying, like kids don't really see themselves, you know, like they wanted to be like Mike, but realistically they could say, you know, I'm not gonna be that tall. I can't do those fancy things, but like, you know, they can make a three, but people still wanted to be like Mike. The like Mike craze was like a real thing. People wanted to be like Mike. It's like the like Mike craze was for real. They wanted to be like Michael Jordan. You know, and I just want to dispel something where I see coming around. People mentioning like some Iverson and some other things and debate. Iverson and Shaq and even Kobe and he's my favorite player for all time. You know, Kobe wasn't in there in terms of influence because Kobe mimic his game off of Mike. So there's nothing influential about his game overall. There's nothing influential about Kobe's game, and Kobe's my favorite player. Like Iverson, what influence Iverson was talking about? What, practice and tattoo and big clothes and dressing and fashion?
No, remember that Iverson came and made the crossover popular.
Yeah.
Iverson had
crossover to man cream. Sorry. So Tim Hardaway was making crossover to man. Remember, Tim Hardaway was the king of crossover before him coming in.
No, man, it was really Iverson. It was really Iverson that came and made that.
No, Cream.
They were doing it. They were doing it.
Cream, no one associated crossover with Iverson. Probably you, but that's not the majority. Nah. People to Iverson. Let me tell you what people say about Iverson. Small dude, cornrows, tattoos.
The culture.
Yeah,
Culture.
the culture. Right? Because a lot of persons see Iverson do it, and you know they wanted the headband, they wanted the cornrows, they wanted the tattoos as well. I give Iverson that, but granted, Ravens are go for two to backside to win the game.
Yeah, the man.
Levon, go ahead.
Focus, Mr. Host. Focus. What can NFL talk about? Yesterday business there. But anyways, you mentioned James Harden, so he's currently 51 behind Reggie Miller right now in fourth position. And for the viewers, I can just list up. I can go ahead and just give a top 10 right now. So you know, the Curry is way out front. Well, not really way out front, but yeah, Curry is up there. Then you have Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, James Harden, Kyle Korver, Vince Carter, Jason Terry, Jamal Crawford, Paul Pierce, and then Damian Lillard in 10th.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, let's see. All right. So now, you know, we're going to shift our focus a little bit to, you know, we're going to talk about this dude, Kyrie Irving. All right. So as you see right here, you know, Kyrie Irving will return to Brooklyn as a part-time player, right? And he started doing his COVID testing. But as soon as he started doing his COVID testing, you know, the Kyrie thing happened. He went into NBA health and safety protocols. I don't know when he'll be out because he's unvaccinated and he can only play, you know, away games. Cream, I know this is your dude. I know you cried for it on the last two podcasts. Hey, boy, I believe the Nets have to go back and get Kyrie just to play away games.
Yeah,
So what do you think about it?
I love it. The situation changed, so Brooklyn had to adapt as well. Clearly the Harden that they have now is inconsistent and is not the MVP caliber Harden that they were hoping to have paired with KD for this season. Plus, you have injuries, you have persons going in and out of the roster based on the COVID situation going on right now. So the situation has completely changed. So I think you need to bring in him back to help manage the minutes for KD as well, because KD has been playing in some heavy minutes. So with at least having Kyrie playing the road games as well, that will help a lot to shoulder a lot of the offense when time they're on the road. I have no issue with it being just road games. Because any team now, you ask them if they can only have their best players to play on the road in a playoff series, they would say yes. If Golden State could only have Steph for road games, they would say yes. Lakers, LeBron, they would say yes. Any of these teams with these MVP caliber players, they would say yes. So no issues whatsoever. I'm just glad they finally wake up and do it.
So Cream, how much final has James Harden? How much conference final have James Harden went go to with Rockets?
Another one that team did again.
He made one.
Yeah, against Golden State.
Can you make a statement as say the MVP? You get
Harden, yeah.
MVP and so forth. He only been to one finals,
Mhm.
conference finals.
Yeah.
So what degree you think him could have used and Nets know without KD and Kyrie Irving to go to our finals?
The fact say, well,
He's
Harden,
not showing up.
if you are gonna rely on Harden to be the main guy, that'll be a problem. But if you are get Harden to be the production when gave you last season and you have KD, then that could work. You wouldn't need to really draw back for your Kyrie. So the issue always coming out when time Harden choke is when time people are relying on him, my main guy. But the fact that you have KD now, I think that's a big help to Harden. Him really have to be the main guy. Him just need to be the good second wheel to go along with KD. But he's not even being that. He's not even being a good second wheel right now. He's being a borderline all-star player.
Or a Butler.
or a Butler.
I'm
You know?
You have Batman, you have Robin, you have Alfred the Butler.
Alfred, yeah, exactly. That's the version of Harden them I get now, and with that, it's a first round exit.
Cream, I'm on the total opposite side of this thing.
Okay, let me hear.
Total disagreement. When the Nets first mentioned it, the argument was that we don't sorry. We don't want a player to be, every other game because it's gonna mess with team chemistry and all that. That's what that was the reason. They use it.
Yep.
I don't think they use the term team chemistry, but they said that we don't want a player to be there every other game. That's what they said specifically.
Correct.
So now, what has changed about that? Nothing has changed about that because he can't play home games because New York is still saying, all right, the vaccination mandate still stand. So now because still they're getting desperate, they're bringing him. And I was saying on the podcast recently.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder all work in the locker room because the locker room present a no situation in there like how people would view it.
Yeah. Hold on the cream, right? And I saw Michelle say that Brooklyn is desperate, and I think Shanila Ellis is going the same direction where Devin is going, saying that I believe Brooklyn is setting a bad precedence for sure. And again, as I asked you guys this question before, if Kyrie was a flake or whatever. But again, say for example, I am a guy who don't want to get vaccinated, but for the sacrifice of the team, I get vaccinated because so I'm able to play. But then, say for example, VJ now, boy, I'm standing up for the people. The people don't want the people. Right. I don't think people should be forced to do it, blah, blah, blah. And as a result of that, you hamper the team a certain way, right? And then now, Steve Nash come out and say, no, zero tolerance, blah, blah, blah. Sean Marks come out, zero tolerance, blah, blah, blah. And then now your team is in a desperate situation now because you guys are losing players, and then be like,
You go
all
back.
right,
The situation has changed. The situation
no,
has changed.
no.
Principle
What's it?
there.
What's it?
No.
There's a particular principle where you have to abide by. You have to abide by it. If you already say, remember, you know, they even banned Kyrie from training at the facility, you know, because at first they said, hey, he could
He
do
could
his
still train.
workouts and
Yes,
stuff.
he could still
And then they ban him totally. So you have to keep up the same precedence, the same level, and say, hey, zero tolerance.
Cream.
Yes.
In 1 or 2 minutes on the NFL podcast, right? You see, moment that I'm a coworker call me, I said to myself, say, you know, I'm in a disagreement to that. And I said to myself, yo, how that will look if we were players and like in the locker room. Some people may not agree with that. And I may see as unfair treatment. I see, as I said, this dude named Mike Wilborn on ESPN, he was saying, I saw a video with him saying the same thing.
Yep.
He was saying he's been covering locker room, and he's like, some players in there, they may not say it because he's a star player, but it's like it's gonna rub them the wrong way.
You think if a man like Claxton, if like Claxton never want to get back and took the same route as Kyrie, you think they would have called back Claxton right now?
Claxton isn't a 50, 40, 90 guy. You American, it's not a scrub where we're taking off the street and bringing it back. It's like
but it's also
50, 40, 90 guys.
You know, Creed, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, it's the principle we're arguing for.
Exactly.
Remember, Sean Mark said that this was all cleared with the players. The players were all in agreement to bring him.
I'm sure it's not. See, Sports Frenzy Nets hierarchy integrity now has to be questioned. Absolutely,
It will be. I agree.
I agree with Kim's, but that's like a conspiracy theory in me. It could even be where they want Kyrie to play, show that he's willing to still play basketball, and you know the trade window is coming up in January, February.
Yeah.
So it might be where they want to say this show that hey, this man is still willing to play basketball. You know, he's fit, he's able to play, he's able to impact your team, and you know, get him in a couple weeks of playing and trade him because what I would love to see if he stays on the Nets, I would love to see a first round playoff series with the Raptors because he can't play Raptors either. And he can't play at Brooklyn home, same of going to be a stay home.
Right. I guarantee you, had the Nets know that James Harden would have been this poor, they would never have said it from the beginning.
I think this set a bad example.
Never have what? For him not to play.
Yeah, that they would have said he can't play away games. If they had known before and that James Harden would have been this poor, they would never have said that.
But that's not a Brooklyn thing. That's not a Brooklyn team thing.
I hear this saying. I agree. Harden definitely playing not good, not
his level.
But people are saying this and they're like, oh, Brooklyn getting desperate and all that. Brooklyn is first in the East, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like say, well, they're desperate because boy, they're looking like say they're mid-round in the play or like you know they might come out of playoff contention. They're first in the East, so
no, but the thing is, you know, all right. So
does having Kyrie even only playing away games give you a better chance of winning a title?
No, it doesn't. No, I don't think so. I don't think it does.
Wow.
Because I didn't Kyrie now to play.
Wow.
Okay, let's say they play a Milwaukee Bucks. Right?
Okay.
We say they play a Milwaukee Bucks, right? And the first two games are at Milwaukee.
Right.
Okay.
That's 2-0 down, right? Then now you have to try and integrate Kyrie now in this team now to try and see how it's gonna work. Because remember, James Harden is not the same James Harden. You know, we already see that. And VJ told me earlier, it's only 4 games. It's only 5 games. Well, around how much games you know? Around 20 games you know, and it's still the same James Harden. Of course, we'll get little flashes and so one time and 2 times, but the James Harden that we're used to, and I have concluded that James Harden just cannot play with somebody who is better than him. I think it makes him feel a particular way when somebody better than him.
No, but last season he played with those said people. He played with Kyrie. He played with KD, and he was in the MVP running.
He was in the MVP.
No.
Yes, he was.
MVP.
Yes, he was.
No.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Running
Yes, he was. Absolutely, he was.
No, Cream. When the MVP running got serious, he wasn't there. You know, when them name 15 people, NBA, these people, everybody get a chance in the MVP running. But when it got serious, when it got down to the last 5, the last 6, James Harden wasn't there at all. Come on, you know this. James Harden wasn't there.
Right there. The man was averaging a triple-double.
Triple what?
A triple-double?
No, was he?
What are you guys on?
He was never serious in MVP. It was always Embiid, Curry, Jokic,
Giannis.
Giannis was still there. Harden was never really in the conversation.
Oh, you guys need to go back and revisit, man. He was there. There was a stretch where he was a leading candidate in the MVP race, man.
All right. So Chris Lynn said they are first on a very easy schedule. Haven't beat any good team thus far. Absolutely right. That's why Kyrie coming back. They realize they need him to beat the good teams. I can agree with that because every good team that they have faced, not only have they lost, they have got blown out.
Yeah, we talk about it.
Yeah. And why is that? Because against a good team, we get the subpar Harden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then what? All right, so this is my thing about Kyrie, right? This is why I can't vibe with Kyrie.
Yeah.
I can't vibe with Kyrie because not only this, but the totality of it. Remember, Kyrie left this team just because nobody could hear from him. KD couldn't hear from him, and then again, he put the team in a bad situation. Now everybody have to answer questions. Kyrie know the media work. So now everybody have to answer questions about him. Hey, have you heard from Kyrie? When is he going to be back? Are you and Kyrie still friends? Hey, coach, is he still on the team? Then no, him do this again. So for me, I just believe that Kyrie always makes everything about him. You say he doesn't make it about him, but he always makes every single thing about him.
That's what his
team in a bad
That's
situation.
what I agree with him.
What you can say as well is that will he be, even though he's only eligible for road games, will he be available for all those road games? He might still end up missing.
Yep, and play 2 games and then I don't feel this is right. I don't think I'm giving all to my teammates. I'm just gonna step away. Like you just never know what's up with this guy.
True,
I don't think this guy loves basketball. I don't think he loves basketball. He says he loves it, but KD loves basketball. You see KD out there play with some no-name people.
Even Harden too.
All right, so the producer is basically telling me that I'm talking too much. So here we go. Scroll down. So a poll was taken of 108 retired players, right? Retired players, and they were asking who is the best player in the NBA today. And obviously, number 1, Kevin Durant at 44%.
Yep.
Number 2, LeBron at 31%. Number 3, Giannis at 13%. Number 4, Steph at 3.5. And 5, Joel Embiid at 1.8. All right. Robbie Rich, let me start with you. Do you have any qualms about this list, the top 5?
Top 5?
Yes.
No.
Is there anything that you will change in this list?
Yeah, I'm not change Joker for Jordan B. I don't think Jordan B is fit enough most of the times. Mm-hmm. And Joker's doing with a team that who could argue that is less talented than 76ers. And underrated. Him underrated. That's what Joker underrated. People don't put him where he is. Because why you ever put? All right. But understand they might say Jordan B is more complete as he's a better defender than Joker. But Joker, what Joker do offensively is underrated because Jordan B don't have them things happen. So what it's like half for one.
What do you mean he does? All right.
Jordan B is very dominant in the paint. You can't argue with that. But when we said Joker style of game, would make a less quality team go further than our Jordan B that do with a less quality team. If you understand what I mean.
No, I understand what I mean, Rob.
I don't. Hold on there, Robbie. Think about it, and then we're going to get back.
No, man. Put it this way. Put it this way.
Yeah.
I look upon Joker as a playmaker. Can we say that about? Can we say that about Joel Embiid?
No, I think
that's why I say a playmaker. A playmaker can make
better.
a team better offensively. I can't say that about Joel Embiid.
I think so. As
That
a playmaker, I will give Jokic over Embiid, but as a defender,
no, that's
I'll
my
give
point.
Embiid way over Jokic.
That's my point.
And then scoring the basketball, I could have them as even. I can say it's a push between scoring the basketball. So then I could see. I'm not mad if somebody put Jokic above Embiid, and I'm not mad if they put Embiid over Jokic. VJ, anything you change about this list? I know you're bad mind, and so I just know whose name you're going to call. But anything you change about this list?
Yes. If this list is based on best players now, right?
Yes, the 108 players were surveyed, retired players were surveyed, and these are the best players now.
Well, I'm wondering why is Russell Westbrook on that list, and why is Zion on that list as well?
Yeah, no, but in this the top 5 before now.
Yeah, I know, but that just seem very. I don't even know what to think about that, because those two players shouldn't be anywhere near in the top 10 or top 15. But anyhow, for the top 10, top 5, I mean, as they mentioned, I would put Jokic. I honestly, for me, Jokic has setting records this year. I would argue I would put him in the same tier as the other top 3, Durant, James, and Giannis, and Curry as well. I wouldn't say he's a step below them. I would put him in the same conversation as all those 4. So I would definitely put him 5th, but I wouldn't disagree if someone want to put him even over Curry right now either. His playmaking ability, his shooting ability, he's a great 3-point shooter. No one can stop his 1-foot fadeaway turnaround, whatever that shot is. It looked clunky, but no one has been able to defend it. You put the best defender on him, they can't defend it. One of the best passer in the league. His defense, people rag on him for his defense. It's not like he plays bad defense. He just doesn't play great defense like a center would usually play. But then the man pass is one of the best passers in the league. So no other center is even doing that. He pass better than most point guards in the league. So I think he's he drives the whole Nuggets offense. He's the main focal point. I think they could put any player around Jokic and he would be in contention to go to the playoffs. He kind of remind me like how you put LeBron and he was the first year in the Cavs and they go playoffs. You do that with Jokic, I could see that happening as well.
I agree with VJ.
Cream.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, have something wrong with this list.
Yeah, I know you do. Go ahead.
You'd have to swap Steph with LeBron right now as it stands.
Right now?
Yes. It's KD, Curry, Giannis, LeBron right now. I don't know how the hell LeBron is so high on this list.
Why would you say that Curry? Why would you say that Curry is better than LeBron right now?
Based on how he is playing and how they might impact them respective teams.
I believe there's a misconception about how LeBron is playing, because LeBron is actually playing well, but he has some, he's averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists or 8 assists, and 50% shooting, not 40-yard, not 30-yard, and 50% shooting. So, he
might be putting them numbers, but are those numbers translating to winning?
No, but Cream, that is not what the list is. Who is the best players now? Not how is your game affecting the team? That's a total different argument.
Kims, I'm gonna step in here, Chuck Kims.
Yes.
I remember when Demon normally come here and talk about his favorite player, Jammer, and numbers, and you always tell him, say, what did I do? That I impact the team winning. So don't come with that. I'm going to stop you there.
No. But that's
Thank
a
you.
different
Thank you.
argument because
We
that's
can,
a different
we
argument.
can,
Hold on.
we can, AD, I put up respectable numbers as well.
No, he's
But
not.
What?
No, he's not.
No.
No, he's not.
No.
what?
He
I
averages
can't
like
believe him say
21
that.
points a game. That's absolute
Yeah.
trash. That's garbage.
What's in my numbers? How much my average now?
That was a 21, 22 points a game.
That's good.
As a 27-year-old in your prime, that is absolute rubbish. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like those are numbers LeBron's supposed to be averaging in his 19th season.
Those numbers are empty calories, brother. Empty calories.
Look at this. How comes that? You see, 108 players. How is Anthony Davis not on this list?
I have
How is Anthony Davis not on this list? That's for
no
sure. You
clue.
said man now playing a basketball.
That makes sense.
If me can identify it, then clearly the retired players can identify it too. Because them have Zion. They're not even consider Anthony Davis. Zion, who haven't played basketball in however long. They're on the list.
So they're not doing. Hold on. So Kebs, I guess the list is just based on the players, not their current form, not for this season. Then it's just the players.
It's talent. It's talent.
It's a talent wise.
So basically, what he said was that who they think is the best player in the season, coming into the season, the best player coming into the season.
Okay.
Coming into the season. Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's different now. That's different now, Kim.
Yeah, because Kawhi not playing a game. I end up playing a game, and I'm still.
Yeah, remember said it have to be coming into the season.
Bro, you gotta read the question properly, bro. The hell are you telling us?
Yeah, because the list make more sense now. Because coming into the season, LeBron just
exactly. No, I can see why LeBron is ranked second. Yeah, we can see that now.
But why is Anthony Davis?
No, I would still have LeBron second, but not that far disparity between him and Steph. Yeah, like 3.5 to 31.6.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the percentage. I think KD should be higher because obviously there's no doubt that KD is the best basketball player now. Right, so I think KD probably should be 60%, and then the other 40% share up between them and them. You know, probably have 15. Oh my God!
Different
Three things in
LeBron
life
and
guaranteed: death, taxes, and Kim's different in LeBron and Ollie.
This man different Ole. Oh my goodness.
We're not talking about that. This is a different show. Producer. All right. Anyone have anything else to say about the list before we move on? I saw Shanila Ellis said that Kawhi should be above Jimmy Butler, and obviously I totally agree with that.
Yes.
Because what Kawhi has been able to do, and what Jimmy Butler hasn't or haven't, and there's really no argument there for me. Hopefully Kawhi doesn't come back this season. Because hopefully he just sits out. Because I'm telling you, my Anthony Davis out now for 4 weeks. My Lakers will get it right. All right. So I want to talk about Kemba Walker. VJ never gets to talk about him. So they were 10-9 record with Kemba Walker, and they're 2-7 seeds, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, he played last night against Boston. I think it was last night. Yeah, they played last night against Boston. They lost, but I think he scored 29 points and. He was doing his thing. Mainly because a lot of Knicks players, they are out with COVID and health and safety protocols. So Thibodeau have had no chance but to put Kemba in. VJ, we spoke about it and we said that Kemba should have stayed in Charlotte and because that's where he was loved and the grass is not always green on the other side at all. Do you think that Tom made a bad decision by benching Kemba?
No, because it showed in the numbers when Kemba was on the court. The Knicks went from like top 10 defense to the worst defense in the league. Yeah, the record was 10-9 at that time, but different circumstances. I think the main issue with the Knicks is Randle because he had a great year last year, and he feels like he's still up. I don't know what happened to him or if it was just a fluke year, but the man has been atrocious. And I saw a video where I don't remember who passed Randall the ball, and they just start walking back down the court because they know that once they pass Randall the ball, he's taking that shot. So the player just pass the ball to Randall and started heading back down on the defensive side. Although Randall still had the ball, dribbling before he made the shot. So I think it's right for them to bench him. He had a great game. He played because they were short-handed. So he played and scored like 29 points against Celtics.
Yep.
But I don't disagree with his benching because he was very streaky shooting. And if he's not providing any offense, all he's providing is negative because he's that bad on the defensive end. So yeah, he had to get benched, and I don't disagree with it. He's not the only issue with the Knicks. They have other issues, as I mentioned with Randall, but he was one of the issues and he deserved to be benched.
Robbie.
I don't disagree with our BJ just saying. Particularly agree. But in some ways, I think if you're going to bench Walker, I think the coach need to come up with something that is effective.
Demo is asking, has Randall been atrocious though?
Horrible. Like horrible.
Yeah, I think
the man has been
Demo, he has been back to his Lakers farm. Because when he was in Lakers, he wasn't. They had to get Mike Johnson to come and get him out of there. And then he went to New York, and for that first season, Lakers fans was regretting it a little bit. Like
most improved player last season.
Yeah, most improved player.
The man is a big and shooting 42% from the field and 33% from three.
Jokes.
Like, and you say AD bad, but him take it to a different level.
No, AD is shooting 18%.
From threes,
but at least AD is shooting well from like 2-pointer, 50 something
mid-range, yeah.
Which mid-range? Mid-range is shooting, I think probably was 20-something percent I had seen the other day. He's shooting when he's close to the basket and laying it up and dunking it, sure, which he doesn't want to do. But we'll talk about AD, but with Randall now, I think it started in the playoffs because obviously where you get that attention, more is going to always be expected of you. And he played so well in the regular season. All the Knicks fans were getting happy, and the Knicks fans was like, "Yes, Randall, come now, playoffs time." And he wet the bed. And then after he said that he's going to come back good next season. Blah 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 blah, because he disappointed the team, and this is the Randall we get right now. So, Devin is the New Yorker. He gets to see the games on his TV. He goes to Madison Square Gardens a lot. So, Devin, what do you think about this Knicks team? Do you think they'll make the playoffs? I see D Rose a staple in that team, and from I see D Rose in that team as a staple, then I don't think that team going anywhere.
Brother, like I was saying, from remember when we had a podcast, I was saying teams that you think will make the playoffs.
Yes.
I said Knicks not making it because Knicks team just not good. Yeah, like I said, it was a fluke season, they had a good season. But like when I look at the players overall, I don't like the team. I still don't like the team. You have someone like Noel, you have someone like Knox someone that Robinson, and even though the guy that they rookie last year coming with Toppin
quickly.
Kobe Toppin, he give you a good athleticism, but like it's not much what them contribute. They still have Taj Gibson. What do Taj Gibson? Like the team itself is not good. Yeah. And like on the Kemba issue, I don't like you bench him, right? Initially, I would say, all right, fine. But then when you bench him because you say, all right, you want to get better defensive stops or better defensive efforts, but it's not translated to winning, even though there are other factors. Like, what's the point? What's the point?
My thing with the Knicks as well, and Cream, I'll get in here, but my thing with the Knicks as well, when they need a stop, remember, so this is it now. You have a big defensive coach.
Yeah.
So when you need a stop, they are unable to get a stop because them have man like D Rose on the court. Yeah, them have man like what name they on the court. Noel is good defensively, but then all them have to do just draw him away from the basket, and then he becomes ineffective. Randall, I think people think Randall is good defensively, but I don't think he is. I just think he's aggressive. but I don't think he's good defensively. So I think a new scheme needs to be made for the Knicks, but I think also the East is a lot more competitive this season.
That's
Last season they weren't. There wasn't no bugger. So the Knicks kind of surprised people, and the Knicks are such a brand name organization.
Franchise. Yeah.
You can't have Obi Toppin in your
R.T.
team.
Barrett.
And them man, no brother.
it's
Just
not
like
the makeup
who
of
is
the
your
team.
household name? Who is your
Yeah.
household name?
None. There's none.
Derrick Rose. Just random, like you need a
They,
household name when
they
when
need
you go there. Spike Lee is still the
they,
biggest thing in New
they
York when
need
you
a
think about
DM. They need DM.
Yeah, and Fournier, they get Fournier, but Fournier just giving you the points. But there's so
it.
much
That
in
man,
Canada,
that man only play good when he man play for France.
yeah.
Only when he man play for France, he
Hey,
play good.
we're going to have to roll back the tape, because I'm sure Knicks was on some people list, and when I left them off, someone just said,
True.
all right, wait till the end of the season.
So question though.
True.
Can we say the same thing about the Hawks?
What about them?
They're saying they're 11th, those above Knicks. They have a horrible season. Could you say it's a fluke that them got a final too?
Well,
I don't see them. I don't see them reaching back the finals. I thought it was a fluke as well. I
they
don't
got
think
them break.
I don't think they're missing the playoffs. I definitely think they're going to make the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they went to like the second round. But definitely not a Eastern Conference Finals team.
All right. Producer, give me the next soft tissue that we're going to talk about right now.
Soft tissue AD.
Let's talk about AD.
So no.
LeBron fault it was. This one is LeBron's fault.
Lakers star, and I don't know what kind of star is there, but I promise myself I'm not going to mention this guy's name until he starts playing well. So Lakers star has an MCL sprain in his left knee and will miss at least 4 weeks. Gary, welcome, boss.
Yeah,
So
man.
I'm going to give you this one because I've grown with great disgust for this player. And disgust is a strong word, and that is what I have for this player right now because he's not living up to potential. He acts like he's the man. He walks with the swagger. He gets paid to do his job, but he's not doing his job. I think right now he's robbing Lakers. Between him and Russell Westbrook, the two of them plan up for rob the Lakers. So now tell me, do you think, Gary, do you agree with me? Because I've been long saying this, right? And we're going to talk about Karl Anthony Towns later on in the show. But I've long said that Lakers should trade this scrub for Karl Anthony Towns. And once again, before he got hurt, we saw Karl Anthony Towns giving this man barbecue chicken after barbecue chicken after jerk chicken. Tell me, Gary, you agree with me that this guy should be traded from the team?
Based on what he has been doing from the start of the season till now, I basically think he's a liability for the Lakers. As I said, he's shooting about 18% from three. He has been atrocious. He was brought into the team, right, to be the flag bearer after LeBron, because LeBron is his 19th season and he's on the way out. He's the next man up, right, to take the Lakers franchise. He has come into the team and he has not lived up to his potential, right? I think it is how he wants to play, right? In the setup of the team, the Lakers team right now, he has a problem playing the 5, right? He thinks he's a finesse player. He wants to stay out on the wing. He wants to shoot a lot of threes and jumpers. He's not that kind of guy that is dominating on the inside for his size, right? Yeah. And basically, I see, I don't see him as the future for the Lakers. Personally, I think he should be traded. And over the years, we've also seen his health situation because he's a liability when it comes to, he breaks down easily. He always has issues, his knee, even from the Pelicans days. So personally, I think they brought him in to try and, work with LeBron to see how the chemistry will work and him moving into the, being the future for the Lakers. But I think they should basically move on from him because it has not worked. And I don't think going up in age, he's 27 now, should be in his prime.
He seems to be deteriorating basically before our very eyes. I don't know if it's gonna get better. So personally, I wouldn't have a problem with the Lakers trading him, and I personally think they should probably move on from him. I don't know if the bubble was an anomaly, but he played well in the bubble, but I don't see him getting better from here.
But
Seems
like
like
in the bubble, he never
hold
played
on,
five.
hold on, Robbie Rich. Here's Michelle saying that I am leading the witness, and she objects. I'm not leading anybody, Michelle. I'm just asking him if he agrees with me. That's all. Robbie, go ahead.
In the bubble, he never played the five. In the play, and they paid more. So I guess them something I expose him to a lot of things. And this the first season, I never think him that will play so much game. I normally injured. Remember, before him come to the Lakers, he was an injury problem. So the first season, I was surprised him play so much games.
And my thing is, I've always said this: the best ability is availability.
Availability.
Right? And
True.
you know, VJ, you know, I won't lead any more witnesses. I just want to hear what you have to say. I just want to hear what you have to say about AD, but about this guy.
I think he should be a lifelong Laker because I despise the Lakers. So anything that can, keep them down. But he's having a down year. I'm not
Another
sure.
Another one.
Last year was a down year too.
Another one.
Last year he played well.
Last season.
Last season he played well.
Last season he played well. It's not a down.
What?
Last season. No, last season them win the chip.
No. What are you talking about?
No, they remember last season was when in tearing groin.
He had an injury last year. Before he came back to playoffs. But do I think that this is the best that he can do? No. And when people mention trade, to me, I can't mention Lakers should trade him when I can't see an actual possibility of somebody that they could get. Because they can't get him. What are they going to use to get him?
What do you mean? The same player, a straight swap. So, what do you mean?
A straight swap, so how that benefit Wolves?
Minnesota now good.
Clutch call up Minnesota and say get AD out of there.
No, hell no.
So that not happening. So Lakers have the best player they can have with AD. They can't improve with what they have. Unless they're going to trade AD for multiple pieces or some future, star like a rookie that just came into the league that a team want to win now and willing to give up their rookie for AD or whatever the case is. But I feel he'll come around eventually. I don't know how long it's going to take, but
so he's out for 4 weeks now, right? He's out for 4 weeks now, so no Christmas. Definitely, he wouldn't get picked as an All-Star regardless. So he's going to have the All-Star. He's going to have the All-Star break too. 4 weeks is a month. And then knowing him, he's going to be on minutes restriction when he comes back. And so by March, let's say by March, we're supposed to can expect something, I guess. Because
I think we need to stop talk about AD's 3-point shooting percentage though, because Giannis, what's Giannis 3-point shooting percentage?
Better than AD.
It's not great, but what?
Giannis,
but what? Giannis is dominant otherwise. And that's
exactly.
it. And I think AD needs to be dominant otherwise. And
but AD is like half participant.
The thing is cream. All right, Giannis will take all 3 trees, but then when it's money time, Giannis coming at your full steam.
Dominant.
AD
downhill.
AD want to shoot some jumper. But see the man shoot a shot against Minnesota.
He's being bullied.
From about 10 feet, and it's an air ball the man shoot.
He has guards bullying him out of a block or push him out of a block and thing. I'm like, what the hell is this?
He's not aggressive. He's not assertive.
Kyle Lowry got the man, brother.
Tough mentality.
Right. So Devin, you like to defend this player. You want like to defend this player. After last season, right?
Nothing to defend.
This is why I dislike this player a lot, After last season, I hear he's because Magic Johnson call him out, and say, hey, he needs to get trainer, needs to get nutritionist, all of them something. So now, after last season, you just know I'm gonna start the yoga. Remember, you're around a guy named LeBron James who has spent millions of dollars on his body. I would feel like, say, boy, I'm supposed to take over the flag from him. Let me try and do what him do to stay as durable as he has stayed in the league. Obviously, LeBron is picking up some injuries now because obviously wear and tear also. But I just think the Lakers are setting up themselves really badly. And I don't know the Lakers is your team. It's not my team. I'm just a LeBron fan. So tell me.
Let me tell you a factor with AD still. I would still give him some time to come around, for the rest of the season. The bright lights, you see, New York and LA, when the bright lights are on you in MSG and done by the Staples Center there, it's not every player can manage it. I think the bright lights are getting to him now. You know what I mean? When he was in New Orleans is still considered as a football place.
Small market.
Yeah, small market. And football is still the sport down there. Football.
Yeah.
So there's that much scrutinism. People don't scrutinize him that much as when he's in Lakers. So I think some of that to get to him, and not to make a defense for AD too, but like him being soft, he has to get more physical, and then LeBron has to have to draw him up some more and thump him in the face some more. Kims, yo, I'm gonna create. I'm gonna draw you back to when before you used to watch Lakers. Paul Gasol used to there, and Paul Gasol used to be staff. Kobe, grab.
Yeah.
Kobe, draw him up and say, yo, what are you doing?
That type of player. Then
accountability. Kobe
connection. He have to start talk to him rough and say, yo, what are you doing?
The thing is,
them accountable, man. Yeah, accountability.
Accountable. I'm telling you. You remember that time with Paul Gasol?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, LeBron start rough up this player. This man start. I think I need a tray. I think I need to get out of here. He's just that.
I think at the modern people.
I think Devin made a good point because when you remember, if you think about it, when he made when they won the chip, that was in the bubble, no fans or anything. So the same spotlight thing that Devin mentioned, you can't give credit.
And then Denzel Washington and all them Star and then Kim and all them and Snoop and all, and everybody is there. And then all LA.
No, but then what I'm saying,
pressure and the media and everything.
He will have games. He will have games where he put up big numbers, 30 and 10, 30 and 18.
It's awful, but I just want to see him come back in February and just see what he's going to give us for the rest of the season. And after the season done now, we can say, all right, one if we can offload this man on anybody. Because trading, it's easy to say about trading. Trading is not so, and it's not so easy, because people are going to look like, all right, what am I going to give up? How can I accommodate the salary? There's a lot of old thing with trading a player.
Yeah, but my thing is, I don't know, can correct me if I'm wrong. When a player wins a championship, when I remember when LeBron won his first ring, it seemed like he just get the monkey off him back and he started playing so freely. He started playing, basketball again. He was just so happy. So this player now, he won a championship, albeit in the bubble, is a championship nonetheless. A banner go up, you get your ring, whatever.
Right.
But I think the pressure should come off for him so he could play basketball freely. But no, he's playing like he's just so timid. He's so shy.
Coming into the season, he said he had nothing more to prove, so he's definitely playing like that.
Right now, he's going to cost himself some money because he's not going to. He probably can't make. All right, and here is the man who I want to be a LeBron teammate. Not necessarily.
This very delusional, yeah.
But this guy say, I'm the greatest big man shooter of all time. Fact. Is there anyone on this panel who disagree with the best? Well, but the third best center in the league?
What? He's speaking strictly as a center?
As a big man.
It's a big man, or 7-footer exclusively, or center.
Power forward
It
and
depends
center.
on
Well, I'm not sure. I never me ask him the question, but so we are working with the own little interpretation. So whatever.
Which is what? Center?
Yeah, sure. Let's go center.
Okay.
I believe.
Gary,
This is a
answer
fact.
this, Gary.
We never interpret it as center still. I don't know, because typically when we talk about big men, we're not exclusively talking about centers to you know.
All right, so include power forward to them.
So that include power forwards like, you know, Tim Duncan, Garnett, Dirk, those people.
Yeah,
So
Dirk, yeah.
So it can't be a fact then.
Yeah, so I guess his centers you're talking about because he played the center.
must be well. That's what I'm saying. It's open to interpretation because he never said I'm the greatest center shooter. I need to get context from that, because if he's talking about 7-footers or just, you know, big men in general outside of the context of centers, power forwards included, that I wouldn't even look at that.
Maybe for the purpose of this conversation, we can say centers.
Yeah, let's say center. Let's work with center.
Okay.
Does anyone disagree with this?
I'm trying to think
because right
about
now,
the centers.
Right now, from 3-point, this man is shooting 42%. Right.
Oh wow!
And guess who that is higher than?
AD.
Curry.
Well, definitely higher than that Croft. It's higher than Steph. It's higher than Steph.
I think it's higher than KD too.
It's higher than KD. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
How much is he attempting though?
He's shooting that's another important thing to take.
Not like he's attempting. It's not like it's a small sample size. He's attempting quite a few per game.
Yeah, he's attempting. I think probably like 5 or 6 per game.
So the man making 2 point something per game. So
yeah, that's not bad.
That's with this season. What's his career percentage?
It's usually over 40%, right at 39 to 42% is usually. Couple years where he got injured, it was a short season, like he only played like 15-20 games. I'm going to take out those games, but over his career when he played like full seasons, it's always been the high 30s, low 40s.
Oh, okay.
But him chose a category and him carefully worded thing. It's difficult for you to dispute that.
Yeah.
But actually, we put it in that. So you know what he was doing when he said that.
If we think about the centers in the league, I don't think there's any center who can shoot the ball as well as this guy. You know, Giannis,
Embiid. Jokic.
Embiid. I would say Embiid, Jokic. Embiid and Jokic.
Embiid not close. Embiid not even in the top 40 right now.
In what?
Well, this season.
3 points.
Well, this season.
So it's only 3 point. Yeah, used as a measuring stick.
And that's what he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Then yeah,
Nikola Jokic is at 38%, 71st in the league. Come on, man.
Yeah,
this guy is 21.
So if he's
career-wise, Jokic is how much? Kems?
Huh?
Career-wise, Jokic is on 30. 30.
Sure,
that's just for this season.
Producer, look up that for me.
I think it's at mid-30s. 38% is right around his highest.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is at 89, shooting 36%. Come on, man.
Yeah, there's not much good 3-point shooting centers with a high percentage. So
Again, for a man to make a comment like this is definitely the Steph Curry effect I told you guys about. Whenever else you ever see a center come out and I make them big talking. All right.
Yeah, just one Steph Curry.
No, may I give Steph some love. All right. Let's just talk about this big guy. So it says that Zion Williamson will be out for another 4 to 6 weeks after getting an injection in his foot to speed up the healing. I don't have anything to say about this guy. I don't know what to do about him. If anybody wants to go ahead and take it on, y'all can. But, I don't think that Zion. I don't think Zion is happy. I think there were a bunch of reports that he's not happy in New Orleans and he wants to leave New Orleans and so. So normally, and I've watched a bunch of players or ex-players podcasts, and they're saying, hey, when a player want to leave somewhere, they'll do all kind of things in order to to get themselves out of there. So I guess I'll start with you, Crew.
Yeah.
But now, normally them would have started act this way after them sign them rookie extension and them things. So him have some money for where him can collect in New Orleans before him start look for push a move out. So I'm kind of surprised at that. But yeah, he hasn't taken his career serious thus far. He should have been in way better shape. So as last week there is blame to be placed at the foot of the organization and blame to be put at the foot of Zion as well.
Somebody's calling him Shaquille
Barkley Jr. The man is too heavy.
Yeah, it's too heavy. And and again, I go back to that draft night, and see how Ja Morant is playing, and see Zion right now, and I'm saying that the Pelicans might be kicking themselves that they didn't take Ja Morant number one instead of Zion. Anyone else have anything to add about
Kems,
Zion?
I think the problem with Zion, it's more than just wanting out of New Orleans, right? Reports have been surfacing even from before this season. He has conditioning issues, his eating habits, his nutrition, he's overweight, and he keeps putting on pounds every year, right? I don't know what his weight is. The last time I heard his weight was about close to 340 thereabout, right? And the nature of his game is very explosive, right? He's a player that depends a lot on explosiveness at the rim, jumping, dunking, all of that kind of stuff, aggressive agility, right? So a man, imagine being that size, right? Managing all of that weight on your knees and your legs and your calf, all of that. So he always has knee problems, always have foot problems and all of that because his weight is an issue. And the type of game he plays, he cannot play that kind of game and doesn't take his weight and eating and nutrition properly. So he's going to continue to have these knee issues and continue to have because he's a big fellow, right? So until he, because he's a young man, so them want to eat, or them want to eat, and you have to get trainer and nutritionists tell you how to eat, and he has to be disciplined enough to know that, listen, I forget on a strict, regimen of getting my weight under control.
So Gary, so I get what you're saying, but and Demo say anyone who doesn't pick Ja must feel away still.
Demo, no Demo running.
But my thing is, right? Zion has been a star since he's been at Duke, right? And if you know anything about Duke basketball program, it's like an NBA kind of program, because they're preparing you for the NBA. So I believe that there's a personal responsibility that you must have.
True.
Nutritionists and them things. Even scrubs in the league right now have their own chef. Have their own chef, have their own trainer also. So I don't see why a guy who has been projected for a very long time to be the next LeBron James, to be the face of the NBA. Remember, one of the main reasons why the playing tournament was created, and I don't know if you guys know, one of the main reasons it was created was because of Zion. Because New Orleans was way out of the playoff picture. And they invited New Orleans to come to bubble to do the playing and so, and obviously they didn't make it because they were just not good enough. But the NBA, when the NBA want to push somebody, they push them. When they want to push out somebody, they push them out. Because we have, I don't know if we are noticing, but we're take time seeing them pushing out LeBron out the door. Just pushing him out. Hey, you're not the face.
Yeah, do your time, no.
Thank you for your time. But where I leave you astray. So I think right now, the NBA is still counting on him, but the NBA is in a good place because obviously, Steph is doing his thing. Ja is doing his thing, and a lot of other players. Giannis is doing his thing, and a lot of other players are doing their things. So, I just think he needs to get his situation sorted out, so we can see him playing some basketball. All right, and as we talk about Ja, VJ, and I want I need because you weren't here the last time, right? But the Memphis Grizzlies have now won 10 of their last 11 games without Ja, and are 18-11. So what that tells me is that they were what? They were what? 8. They were 8-10. If may I say it right? Yeah. They were 8-10 when Ja was there, and they are now 18-11. And I've asked all these gentlemen before, and I'll ask you. I believe that this team is just a better team without Ja. I'm not saying that they are better than Ja. I'm not saying that. But collectively, I just believe that they believe in themselves more, they share the ball more, they move the ball more, and they don't have one person. This guy says Zion is the face of Papa. More deal than easy. But hey, DJ, am I onto something here, or am I just a hater?
No, well, people can look at that and say, boy, the team look better without Ja Morant. I don't want you make sure you put that in the podcast to trouble the Ja Morant fan, the big Ja Morant fan. But we have a look into that. Dillon Brooks was injured during those first few games when Morant was in, and he is one of their best defenders, and he's a good scorer too. I remember in the playoffs, he was giving Curry trouble on the defensive end when he was defending Curry, and he was scoring pretty well too. So I know it might look like they look better because they won more games and they haven't really lost any games since Ja Morant went down. I remember when I saw Ja Morant went down, I was like, all right, for sure, Grizzlies not making the playoffs. No, because the amount of games they're going to lose. So it was very surprising. But I definitely would say they're better without Morant. Like, can't say that. Morant is a talent, and when he was playing with the Grizzlies, the man was in one of the leading scorers in the NBA when he was in the early part of the season, and the man was playing like a beast. The man won Player of the Week a couple times or one time.
Who's that? Who's that we're talking about?
Ja Morant. Yes.
All right.
So, I just think that the whole team is just coming together more, because I think what's his name? JJ Triple J. What's it? I don't know his full name.
I think Jackson.
Junior.
He came back from injury, so it took him a while to get up to speed. Dillon Brooks came back from injury. Melton is playing pretty well now. So I think when Morant come back, this team is going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs.
All right, but VJ, my thing is, and let me just read Elton Gardner. He's saying a part of the belief comes from Ja, even when he is not on the field. And let me just preface my comments by saying I'm not a hater. I'm just talking what I'm seeing. I'm a visual person. The numbers and them something they.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm a visual person, right? So even last season, VJ, I didn't see Memphis on this kind of run. When I'm watching Memphis, I'm enjoying watching Memphis share the basketball, defend at a high level, shoot the three, and I'm just saying that, I'm saying, boy, the longer just stays out, the higher probability this team has to stay away from the playing tournament. I don't think Ja is a selfless person, right? So I believe when he comes back, it has to be about him. He wants his numbers. He wants to play the All-Star game. He wants to, make the All-NBA team. He wants to do all kind of that. And I think those things can derail from team success and goes to individual success. So I believe actually Ja being injured is a blessing in disguise for this team. So other players can realize their potential and definitely step up to the plate. And Elton Gardner is saying Ja is the man for this team. When it reaches crunch time later in the season, this team won't go far without him. Well, Elton Gardner, I'm here to tell you, the Memphis Grizzlies have played some really good teams, the same ones they'll play at the end of the season. And in crunch time, they have shot the ball well, they have made their free throws, they have got defensive stops, and they just look one of the best teams in the NBA right now. But what do I know? Devin, I'm sure you agree with me that this team is better.
Yo, you know, initially when you said that, and you say, I was like in a previous podcast, I was saying, Kems, you know, you beat and judge too much. But one thing we can't take away was that his performance was very good this season. He was there as, you know, one of the top performers in the league. But then, Kems, even before I say anything about the NBA show today, I went and I did a search up something about this Ja Morant because I say I know Kems gonna come with something about Ja Morant. I find this article by this dude, Kevin Pelton.
Okay.
Yeah, some in one of them ESPN thing that he's on, right? And he was posting some interesting numbers, and he's saying, even though it's a small sample size, right? You can't ignore these numbers. I'm gonna tell you some of these, and I'm tending to agree that with some of these reasons, right? When Ja Morant went down, right? Grizzlies were like last in the NBA in terms of defensive rating, at like 115.9, right?
Yep.
When he went out, now they start the defense for 100%. They were allowing like 96.6 points.
Yep.
They're saying now, like in terms of effective shooting, like an open shots, like each player start getting better shots.
Yep.
All right. Another thing, they improved from 24th in terms of like defensive rating to like 14th in terms of offensive efficiency, and he excluded the game against OKC where they beat down that team because
they beat that team by about 60 something.
Yeah,
right?
so they take out that because that one improved the offensive efficiency to like 158. So they took that out, and overall they're like in the top 5 now in offensive rating. So it's like the ball is moving more, and it's like,
of course,
they're like 9-1. You know what I mean? Within that stretch, and it's like all the areas, there are some because I can't read out all of them, but all the areas that they're mentioning is like the team has improved. Definitely, you have to factor in that some guys came back in, and I want to, you know, agree with Elton in a comment earlier. Like when it comes to crunch time and in the playoffs, you're gonna need Ja. I agree with that. You're gonna need Ja like big plays.
All right.
You're gonna need a go-to player. Like everything, Ja will be their go-to player. But we can't ignore that. Okay, no, the team is better without him right now.
All right.
We can't ignore that. But like the team don't need him, but the team is better without him right now.
I agree. And Demo here is saying, Kems always seemed to leave out when Ja was playing and beating the high-flying Golden State Warriors. Not a lot of teams do that. Anybody who thinks the Grizz better without Ja is a clown. Well, Demo,
we are reason with the stats, Demo. We are reason with the stats.
Yeah, well, Demo, I'm here to tell you, those persons at ESPN making millions of dollars without any emotions, they are probably clowns too. But all I'm saying is that I see Ja, when Ja is in trouble, he just throws the ball to up when he's but when I'm looking at Memphis now, you know, Memphis is a great team to watch right now. I cannot promise you that I'll be watching Memphis when Ja comes back because they're going to go on a losing streak. You know,
come on.
Cream, go ahead, Cream.
They are making up for what they don't have now. They don't have Ja, so them are gonna play different. This is not how them play when time Ja is there. You know, so don't them to make up where them lose now.
So that means I'm gonna play better without him then.
Not necessarily better. It's just that remember, you know, when Ja is there, them really more look to him. You know, but he's not. You know, so each person have to do that much more now.
So which scenario you prefer then, Cream?
They look good now. They look good now, yeah. They look good now. So it's on them to continue this when time Ja come back in now. It's with them to continue this. But then the man say, okay, our guy's back now, our superstar is back now, so we're gonna look to him again now.
The only thing, my final thing on this is that it just opened my eyes more to think that this team was just a Ja team.
Yeah, I remember Demo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robert Rich, I'm going to get you in here because Demo came on here in the comment section and saying, Ja needs help. What? this team.
Yeah.
This team is
I
Ja is
remember
carrying this team.
I
Give
remember
just some help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. So I don't know why
give just some help, and then after that, then But
my question is that
yes,
how much people have watched the Grizzlies play since Jerry Moran get injured, and we all them play when Moran come in. Can they do the same thing? Because when them are playing is a weakness to enough team. When Moran playing, them are playing to enough team chop. So that's why I have to give the players them must step up. I have to give the coach credit for that. Because them plan B look like it better than the plan A.
Yeah, I think again, when you have a star player, what is presumed a star player, then the attention have to be on them. Shanila Ellis saying, if the stats are better without him, wouldn't that indicate that they are playing better without him?
Yes, of course they're playing better.
Shanila Ellis, bingo. You
bingo. You
deserve a hug for that. Because
I hear Devin and I hear you and I understand what you're saying. The numbers are there and you can't lie. The numbers don't lie. And what you are saying, even though it goes in context with the Grizzlies, I think generally it's not necessarily unique. I've seen this in the past with teams generally, even other sports, NFL as well, where you will have maybe not over a longer time span, but you will have like certain key players or top players out, right? And the team rallies and plays, together more as a unit in terms of ball movement and all of that. Because remember, when you have a dominant star and you have the main piece that is in your team, the focus is on that person. So like he dictates the offense. In terms of a point guard, he carries up the ball up the floor, it determines who to get, whatever shot, creates plays through him. When he's removed now, all the guys, you will see guys stepping up even more, persons who you didn't expect to come to the fore, and the term next man up. So I understand what you're saying with Ja. Fine, they might be playing better without him, but I think when it comes maybe to some critical games in the playoffs, as a main go-to guy, as the star for the team, they will really want somebody like that. So I don't have any arguments about that, but I think going further, I think they would need Ja in the team than him not being in the team and they're going into a critical playoff game.
In a playoff series, definitely they would need that.
Yeah, but nobody never said they're not going to
need
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. My question is, how do we know for sure that in a playoff series they will need Ja? Because
we're not approving that.
I've seen Ja in a playoff series and he won one game. Did he? He won one game. One game. I've seen him in the playing tournament, and obviously he beat Steph Curry. Make that what you will, but So I'm saying the way, Gary, what I'm really saying, the way how the team has improved in every offensive stats, every defensive stat, like after a while you have to say, well, no man, this team, because and again, if it was a player who they don't like, if it was a LeBron and the Lakers improving at every step, we don't need LeBron. Let's get By the way, Grizz just lost Dame. Is it Dame or Bame?
Dame.
But what on there? But Dame
put up something.
What the man expect to win every game?
Oh, you said just lost to Dame, or they lose to Portland.
Yeah.
But they expect them to win every game. People are gonna lose games.
I mean, exactly. There's no team in the NBA that has ever won 82-0. No team.
No team.
You're gonna lose game.
You're gonna lose game, yeah.
So, but as I'm saying, every offensive stat has been better. Every defensive stat has been better. All right.
No.
Sports Frenzy, just to get traded.
No.
And I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far at all. All right. Let us talk about a real point guard who has been real clutch without obviously Devin Booker. And it says that Chris Paul in the clutch this season, he has 60.9% field goal, which is first in the NBA. 15 assists, 3 turnovers, and the Suns are plus 60 in the clutch with CP3, the best mark in the league. I personally can't talk about CP3 anymore. I believe that obviously he should have, came second, in the MVP or even first in the MVP last season. But obviously he wasn't shooting 3-pointers from the half court, and he wasn't twisting and shimmying and all of that. So obviously he doesn't get those kind of love. But Cream, what can we say about Chris Paul?
He's having an MVP type season. He's doing it all pretty much. Even when time Booker has been out, he's been there stepping up to the plate, leading the team. One of the best leaders in the league currently, and should be getting a lot more respect. I believe as well.
Gary.
Yeah, Chris Paul. What can I say? He has a phenomenal career, and I think he's somewhat underrated. Last season, you made a very good point. He was in the MVP running, and yeah, we know it was given. We know why the MVP wasn't given to him because the type of award it goes to the players with on the number one team or the top 2 teams in the league and doing extremely well.
Gary,
but
Jokic got the MVP and they were below Phoenix.
That true, and the reason why he got, as I said, the MVP typically is given to that kind of player, but you have to be having an extraordinary season as well. I think Jokic had a very remarkable season last year. That is why maybe he got the MVP. But I'm going the Suns in the bubble. Remember with Devin Booker, he was playing phenomenally. Remember they were this exciting team. I think he had back-to-back 50-point games and they were lighting it up. And the Phoenix Suns weren't this team, right? That we make them to be now. And since they have acquired Chris Paul, you notice last season there's been a total turnaround in the records. They went to the finals, and persons can say that they were basically 2 games away from being champions, if not for the remarkable, outstanding performance of Giannis in the finals. So I think they will continue to get better with Chris Paul at the helm because he's a mastermind point guard. He runs the offense. He gets players around him to play better. And if you notice, even with Devin Booker out, they don't miss a beat because he makes players around him better. He runs the offense. He's one of those elite point guards that generationally you can say one of the greatest all time. Anywhere he goes. I think I saw something the other day. I can't remember. There was a statistic that was saying that everywhere Chris Paul goes or he was traded, their record improved significantly. I think
everywhere.
I'll have to check it out. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about because when he went to the
if James Harden wasn't so selfish, James Harden would probably win a ring with CP3. But that was the chemistry. That was the setup of that team. I don't know James Harden that type of player, but he has been phenomenal everywhere he goes in terms of getting the team to play better. Our guys around him to play better.
I think Chris Paul is one of the most intelligent basketball player.
Well, on there, Robbie Rich, I want you to respond to this. Shanila Ellis say, I think CP3 is better than Steph Curry. What do you think about that, Robbie?
No.
What are we talking about in terms of being a point guard?
Yeah, as a point guard.
Overall player.
As a point guard. Or you can even say overall player. Because I agree with the statement. Because I think CP3 is better.
Why you agree with the statement?
Why I agree with the statement? Let me tell you why. Let us go into individual stats. Yeah. As a defender, I'll say CP3. I'm taking CP3 over Steph as a defender. As a pure point guard, floor general, I'm taking CP3 over Steph. If I want in the clutch, I want a clutch bucket, I'm taking CP3 over Steph. As a leader, Steph is pretty okay, but I'm taking CP3 over Steph. Only stat I'll give Steph is at being a shooter, obviously, because he's the best shooter. So I don't know if anybody else disagrees, but I think that CP3 is definitely. If we go in categories, obviously, and I say Steph is like the shiny car. Nobody can hate him. Nobody can disagree. Steph have to be up there, but I just believe what CP. Okay. If Curry was on the Suns, I don't think Curry could have brought the Suns team to the finals. I don't think so.
Last season,
I don't think so. Because in the clutch, Curry will disappear. Curry will disappear and hide from the bright lights and the big moments.
well, person can look the last season, being an anomaly because of all the injuries in the West and all of that stuff. Can look at that. People will say Kawhi being injured.
Don't they have the best record in the NBA?
And people can say about the Lakers team.
Don't they have the best record in the NBA right now, the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, they do. They do. But Kems,
between them and Warriors right now. Yep.
Kems, to be honest, a man might pick CP3 over Steph, but the game, to be honest, the game has changed so much. Traditionally, we don't have the type of guards. The game has been revolutionized to almost like a positionless basketball team. Back in the day, you used to have the centers, and you used to have the triangle. Everybody shoots everywhere now. You don't really have big men. You don't have the post-up game, the body down and the block and all of that stuff. Because one time you used to have a few two guards in the league. Now, guys like Stockton and those persons were true point guards, running the offense and all of that.
Yep.
No, you see some persons where, they are, you don't know if they are point guard or shooting guard or whatever. Everybody's
I'm sure. I'm going to show you how the NBA. I'm going to show you how bad the NBA is when it comes on to sensationalism for Steph Curry versus CP3. Right? CP3 went to a team that obviously couldn't make the playoffs. They had a year ago to when CP3 joined, they had the worst record in the NBA. All right? CP3 joined, they were the number 2 team in the West. All right? Steph Curry was in the play-in tournament and got knocked out of the play-in tournament, never made the playoffs. Steph Curry was 3rd in MVP voting. Chris Paul didn't even make the top 3. These are the things I'm talking about when we talk about favoritism, sensationalism, romanticizing a player. Right? And again, I'm sure this season again, they're going to cheat out, CP3. If it was voters fatigue, I would say, okay, voters fatigue. But CP3 has never gotten that accolade, and I think that he deserved it last season, especially over Joker, because he had a better record than Joker. And he had to do more with his team than Joker had to do with his team. That is just my thing. But, CP3, I'm just sorry that he didn't get to win the ring last season because it's going to be increasingly difficult moving forward. I think last season was his season, but, we'll see. All right, producer, let's pull up the next one. All right. So Mario Chalmers, I don't know if you guys remember him, but he's a 2-time NBA champion. So put some respect on Chalmers' name. He has signed with the Denver Nuggets G League team. Obviously, that there's a lot of COVID cases going around in the NBA, and they're just looking to sign anybody. Isaiah just signed with the Lakers, and Mario Chalmers right here. Anyone have anything to say about Mr. Chalmers? Do you think that he'll be on an NBA roster? I think that's the question that I should ask.
I know with the COVID situation right now in the league, teams are being hit left, right, and center. Players are, outside of the injuries, the COVID situation, teams are desperate to fill the roster spots or get guys, integrated in teams where they have shortcomings. Isaiah Thomas getting signed recently to the Lakers. I think he can. I haven't seen him, play. I haven't watched the G League games.
The last time he played in the NBA was the 2017
2017
when he was playing with the Memphis Grizzlies.
the Grizzlies. I think he can still add some value to some team out there. Because he's been known as a shooter. He can shoot the ball, and he will provide some meaningful offensive help to some team out there. It with injuries and struggling shooting the ball. So I will see what's happening in the league now. He could be of some help to some team out there.
All right, Robbie, you have anything to add about Chalmers or no?
No, I'm not having any more to add about it.
All right, so we spoke about the MVP race before, and we just want to go a little bit deeper into it now. So with all the games being played right now, obviously KD is way out front. He's averaging 29 points per game. Giannis is averaging 27, and Jokic and Steph is averaging 26. So Gary, if you had to pick right now, with all these numbers up, with the records and everything, because they take all that into consideration. Also with the media bias, because the media has a big bias to
Right.
Steph.
We know you have a pressure, Steph. All right, to be honest,
KD don't call me mirror and them things. The media not like that.
What?
So
all right, to be honest, yeah, go first. All right, go first. All right, based on what is happening now, all right. To me, I gave Steph the lead in the MVP voting about 6 games ago or so. With the record, pending over the last 4 games, trying to eclipse Ray Allen, he has struggled mightily from the field, and the team has lost a few games. I know he was out the other night. So he has dipped. Basically, he's no longer in the lead. I know the Phoenix Suns have taken the lead in the West. I think they're 23-4, 23-5. And the last 4 or 5 games, even probably more than that, Durant has been on a tear. He has triple double the other 34 point the other day, playing with some
kids,
some high school kids, some rookies, some third round. He was phenomenal. So based on what is happening now and what he's doing, especially with Kyrie out, James Harden, I don't know what he's doing. Trust me, he's been atrocious. I would put him out front and center right now. As much as I'm not a big KD fan, but he's been asked to do a lot, not only to score, but to facilitate the offense, get guys involved. Everything runs through him now. He has not. We saw last year where basically in the playoffs, he was asked to do a lot. Similar to what LeBron usually does. He came up short against the Bucks. But we see where he can do that. And he has been doing that so far. So I would put him out front right now in the MVP voting. Plus, records, if you want to take that into consideration, because they always say traditionally, the teams with the best teams with the best players, they are number 1 now in the East at 20-8, I think. So that's KD for me right now. And the season is basically not even halfway. But we have some time to go. But right now, as it stands, KD for me.
How about you, Robbie?
No, I have nothing much at him say. Basically, when did I say me that was said too? Because he might identify a lot of things where he might play with kids. And James Harden perform and him still lead the Eastern and him have to turn up and him start doing more triple doubles. And it doesn't seem like he affect him. While a couple games now you have seen Steph Curry have dipped. So
for sure.
We can't disagree with Gary Russell. We can't disagree.
For sure.
But one thing I want to actually point out, when I mentioned Jovic as a playmaker, I'm going to see to play quiet to that. But when it comes on to Chris Paul, I like the playmaking.
No. I remember I acknowledge that as a playmaker, Jokic is much better than Embiid, because Embiid, obviously, Jokic, I think he averages 7 or 8 assists per game, which is great for a center. Embiid is not. I think Embiid is around 3 or 4 assists per game. But I was just saying the disparity between the defense of Embiid and the defense of Jokic, is a great margin. So that's why, for me, I give Embiid the nod over Jokic. But anybody who pick Jokic over Embiid, I'm not mad at them either. Okay. I think it's fine. All right. So last thing we're going to talk about now is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Since LeBron left, the Cleveland Cavaliers have been a laughing stock up until now. They drafted decently. You know, they got some players, as you see in the picture. You know, they have some really talented players over there, and they are now third in the East. And they're not third beating OKC, and you know I think they beat Milwaukee. They beat Milwaukee last night.
Yeah,
They beat Milwaukee last night. Yeah, and you know they've been beating some really good teams, and Kevin Love has been playing well.
And
Ricky
Allen.
Rubio, yeah, see there, Allen and Garland. All these players have been playing well.
And they're doing it without Sexton.
Yeah, and they're doing it without Colin Sexton as well because you know I think he tore his ACL or something. So I think he's basically out for the season. So, do we think that the Cleveland Cavaliers is, you know, because you always have this one team. For last season, it was Atlanta, where
and Knicks.
Yeah, well, really Atlanta, the bogey team that will go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
You know, the team that will, you know, find a way for win some games and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do we think that the Cleveland Cavaliers can play that role? Nobody can go.
I'm not sure. Not sure because last season you could have used a lot of things in criteria to that, but I've waited to look more before I actually say that. But I have to give them credit. So I'm playing good. I have to give them, and the drafting what them been getting for the years them has been playing good now. And Allen and some of the change that they have Nick has playing good. And I remember last season when Kevin Love was linked with the Lakers, people were saying Kevin Love done. Look at him now; he's playing good. So credits to the coach and the GM and everybody at Cleveland Cavaliers have steadied ship now.
Yeah, I like how the Cavaliers are playing games, but as you know, it's about 30 games there about in the season, not quite halfway. It's not very early, but it's still somewhat early. The East now is considerably better than last year, and the teams are, you know, Chicago has improved, Milwaukee is still there. You know, you have the Brooklyn Nets. Still have their issues still, but I expect them to improve as the season goes on. I don't expect them to finish in the top 4 or top 5. You know, since the NBA introduced the playing tournament, the 7 to 10 place teams are in the running for the last 2 spots in the playoff. So I believe they can, and it goes down to 10. So once you finish the season in 10th place, then you're going to play in tournament. So I believe they can be a team that goes into the playing tournament, and you know, anything happens, you know, can happen from there. But I need to say a little bit more, you know, from them, probably halfway into the season. If they're hovering around, you know, 5, 6 place there, then we can see, you know, because Garland has been playing really well, and as I said before, Kevin Love is still there. Sexton is out for the season, but they're not looking bad. But as I said, it's still early, and every season you have some team, you know, playing sport or one of those Cinderella stories, like we had the Hawks, they said last season. So let's see if they can be one of those teams this season.
Sports producer, put up back that thing from Sports Frenzy, please. So current NBA scores: Bulls 49-41. Oh God, my poor LeBron. Timberwolves 38-35, and the Suns are leading 51-25. The Suns are playing the Hornets, and the Minnesota playing the Dallas. All right, so you know, reach that time of the show. First of all, you know, I have to big up everyone who has tuned in. You know, we are on a road to 1,000 subscribers. Gary, please make all your friends, all your family, all your people in the church just take them phone instead of collect offering. Collect subscribers. All right. So one day they say, hey, people, no offering and no tithes on offering this time. We just want some subscribers. All right. Because we have a particular goal. I'm telling you, in the new year we have a lot of great things that is happening. So we're going to continue to bring the content. But we just want the subscribers. Right. With that being said, we're gonna use we have a minute. I'll start with you, Robbie. You go ahead and you talk about anything we want to talk about. You can give us an update on your team, how your team is doing, how you like the coaching role, you know, what are some of the likes, dislikes of coaching, but you just know you have a minute.
My minute now. Actually play a practice match this Saturday. I think it's the last practice match I play until the new year. And what we're going to get in some more equipment such as more balls, more bibs and so forth. It's signed to me, we love football on a level. So it's an enjoyment for me, but it do comes with downs. Downs that some players attitudes are stinks. So when you're being a coach, you have to be like a father to or a brother or something to them and so forth. And some of them might feel like we have to do. It's like you teach them something now when you go up on the field if you teach them the same time and you cause them to. Enough time I got me had chest and me throat sore and all them things. But it's a enjoyment and so forth. I'm going for Level 2 next year, so maybe I see on the TV very soon.
Wow, for sure. We're definitely looking forward to that. And then anytime I come down there, I just need a schedule, and I'll make it down there to come and support. Because you're always here on Sundays, and you're always in the comment section during the week, giving us support. So, any support that I can give to you, most definitely. So, good job, Gary.
Yeah. Quickly, my minute is just to speak about what is happening in the sports world right now in terms of the COVID situation, basketball, NFL. We see, especially in basketball right now, a number of teams have been hit with the COVID issue. Players are being out. Recently, we saw I think Trae Young has been out. He's missed some game. I think the Chicago Bulls have suffered from COVID related issues because I think they had some games postponed for the last couple of days. So is it a case where now we are, the NBA would consider no fans in the stands, whether going back to a bubble situation. But it's interesting to know that even if you're vaccinated or non-vaccinated, you can still attract, get the virus. So, it is something that we need to, a situation that we have to accept because we don't know how long this thing is going to be around. All we need to pray and hope for is that, for the best in terms of, persons, taking care of themselves, being safe, following the protocols as best as possible, and where we can actually have the seasons finished, in all sports. Just hope for the best, because the situation is not going to get better immediately. So, we just hope we can have into the NBA season and also the NFL.
So Christian Gary. So if without spectators, you believe that the players them go it was slow down enough things? Because remember, none of these fans are not in contact with the players then.
Well, very good point.
Players not going to stand. I believe players and clubs should feel responsibility for some of these things.
Agreed.
I think they lay back too much, and some of these players are indisciplined. I was doing a research the other day that football, at the NFL, soccer, and basketball players are one of the most indisciplined players.
Yep.
So them say cricket and athletics is more disciplined and golf players, but these type of players mentioned are very indisciplined. So you can put that into thinking that it's up to the players too.
The onus is on the players a lot because they go home to their wives and their family. Because if you don't isolate them because it's very expensive, as we know, the NBA did it, and it was the last part of the season, basically the playoffs. You can't have like 60 odd games left and putting guys in a bubble, 30 teams. It's not gonna be practical and feasible. So the situation is that persons have a personal responsibility, but it's very difficult because, as I said, guys want to go home to them family and them children mingle and go out, and they'll go out and party because once people feel they're vaccinated, them feel everything is good.
They get misinformation. They don't understand the purpose of vaccine.
True.
Some people think you get it. Oh, we can't catch nothing more. The vaccine is not there for that. It's there to fight against the virus. If you get it, you have a higher possibility of living than dying.
For sure. And here's Demo saying, my minute. Kim, stop hating on Ja. And we all need to change our name to Hurricane so we can get away with murder, with robbery. Tomorrow I'll let Levon talk about that tomorrow. I won't step on his toes. Because I know that's going to be a juicy, spicy topic tomorrow. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But my minute, Isaiah Thomas is back. He's on a 10-day contract at the Lakers. So the Lakers play tonight as he scored 19 points in the loss against Minnesota. So hopefully we can he can give us a spark because we have a couple of THTs out due to COVID. Avery Bradley is out, so the Lakers got a exception to sign him, without releasing any players or anything like that. And that is going on around the league. Green Bay won, and Baltimore decided to go for 2.
Because Baltimore are idiot, Kems. But can't wait. Hey, yo, Jim Harbaugh, them coaches are always outdo themselves. Kems, you know same nonsense. The man have to do the analytics, them interject themselves in the game too much, brother.
The thing is, he did it last game. He did it last game and he failed. And he came back this game.
And he come back and do the same foolishness.
Not only did he do the same foolishness, he ran the exact same play
that
he ran last week. The exact same play. And it was intercepted. Not intercepted, but they bat it down and so. So I'm glad because my team won.
If you get, hold on, quickly. If you get 31 hours, right? You have fought. Remember, says almost a minute, Give Aaron Rodgers, make him take him off them out 3 times. Make them drive the length of the field. Because remember, say them have to get 3 points. If him get 1 point, they're going to lead by 1, right? Yeah. And still, they will not like the game.
Yeah,
you still can lose. So, see, if it was like 10 seconds, Kems, if it was like 5 seconds or 10, I understand because it's less time. You getting the 1 point, it's still not guarantee you're winning either. So that's when it's dumb. But them play.
Yeah, man, they play well. And I think that the quarterback that they have, the backup quarterback.
Yeah, man, the only trust me, in favor Lamar, or move and I like it.
But we'll talk about it next. We'll talk
definitely
about it next week, Saturday for sure. But I want to definitely big up the producer. Thank everyone for tuning in. People remember, by the end of the year we want to reach 1,000 subscribers. Gary, by the time touchback next week is supposed to tell me say, Kems,
yeah, man, they line up people,
50 people sign up, 100 people sign up. All right. Robbie, the same thing. All of us play a part in into making it grow. We come here, we talk, we have fun, we learn things, but at the same time, we want to ensure we do our part in making the channel grow and making it reach the potential that we know it can reach. All right. So big up everybody in the comment section. Big up VJ who was here, Devin, Cream, Gary, Robbie. Tomorrow Levon will be back with the EPL and some football stuff, and I'll be back on Saturday with the NFL show. All right, so guys, you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll talk.
All right.